Oh, I need one of those.
It's like, why right now?
So, hello and welcome to the Texas de Peru Secret Sauce Podcast. Why do we call it the Secret Sauce Podcast? Well, in addition to helping a lot of poor folks in South America and having a lot of fun doing it and changing lives, there's a lot of leadership lessons from doing international surgical missions. Hence, we kind of formed this Secret Sauce Podcast. But the cool thing about it is there's a whole lot of people out there that know a lot about living and a whole lot about business. And we occasionally invite one or two of them to come on our show, hence the secret sauce. Get it? So one person that we're inviting today is a tremendously accomplished professional, a raconteur and bon vivant. And glad to have her as a guest today, Brandy Schade. Welcome, Brandy.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Kevin.
I'm so thrilled to have you on here. You've got so many different interesting things that you're involved in, and you've been basically in the business of helping people out a real long time, and that's it's always fun to watch.
Thank you.
Brandy, for those who don't know you, could you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what you're into?
Yes. So these days, what I'm into, I'm so sorry.
You're a vet.
These days, I'm into cats climbing on the back of my chair. Yeah. So right now, what I'm doing, spending a lot of the time doing is doing executive coaching for organizations. We do workshops, strengths and strategy workshops for organizations. Really, what we're trying to help teams and leaders do is create elite teams that work well together, that are highly productive. They love working together, and they're also strategic, meaning they understand how they're impacting the bottom line of the business, which is, essentially profits. I mean, we also have, the beliefs that we go to work for and the missions that we go for. So it's not just profits, but in the end, when you're talking about a for-profit business, the bottom line is the doors stay open if the profits are
exist.
Yeah, exactly. So we do a lot of work with teams and leaders to make that happen. We do that with teams and leaders in corporate, but we also do that with teams and leaders for small businesses.
Oh, that's. I'm so glad to hear that. I don't know if you remember, you took me through the Strength Finders thing a few years ago, and I'm a pretty cynical guy as far as profiling like that. I think there's flaws with many of the systems, but I got to say, I really liked that program and approach, and I liked the way you conducted it. So
thank you.
It was tremendously effective. So a big thing about what we do on this particular show is we talk about our passion projects. I'm personally of the belief that passion projects fuel your life, personally and professionally. And obviously, as you can tell by the ridiculous background behind me, what we do at Texas de Peru is my passion project. So, do you have some passion projects that you're into that you'd like to share with us?
So, I'm such a basic human. I've always been interested in the same things throughout the course of my life, which is, spending time with friends, reading a good book, taking walks. But I've always been into working out, and I teach fitness classes. So one of my favorite things to do is to teach body combat classes, which are martial arts fitness classes. And wow. I love teaching them. They're highly dynamic. They're a really hard workout. They're full of energy. You have to motivate people in all these different ways to get them to burn the maximum amount of calories. So that's one of my favorite things to do. So I like helping people in a physical fitness way where I'm a coach. But then I also spend a lot of time at Business Navigators, Executives in Transition, where we help. We've actually had 600 executives come through that program. I don't think people realize that.
Wow.
And we've helped 400 of them land roles through that program at that nonprofit. So that's been really exciting. But then other than that, it's, all of the work stuff that we're doing and building is really, I'm very, very passionate about what we're building at Onyx Unlocks and the programs that we're building within it. So I spend a lot of time there too.
Well, you're approaching that awfully modestly, but what you're really into, it sounds like passionately, is helping people be better versions of themselves,
That is it.
and that's terribly admirable.
Thank you.
Um, do you have some tent pole type advice, or some epiphany, or some major thing that you carry along with you every day that you might want to share with a young person, or a person mid career or mid flight in their life?
Yeah. So one of the biggest shifts for me was wake. I have a tail behind my head. Um, One of the biggest shifts for me was waking up every morning saying, how do I do that? How do I do this? How do I do that? Not can I do this, or when I do this, or if I do this. So every morning, laying in bed, just saying, I'm so excited to go do this. I don't know how to do it. Maybe I'm scared, but I'm going to have the courage to figure it out. And
Uh-huh.
how do I do this? And then on top of it, how do I do this? How do I get this done? How do I make this happen? Even though I have no clue how to do it. After I really got my brain, doing that motion every day, I then said, and how do I do this happily? How do I figure this out
Yeah.
happily? How do I be excited and happy every single day in not knowing and in figuring these things out and taking on these challenges and, doing the hard work? Because I feel like if we can master doing really hard work, but keeping our spirits up and being excited about it and being happy about the lessons we're learning and the challenges that we're being exposed to, then it all becomes easy,
Uh-huh.
which is so interesting to me. It becomes enjoyable and easy. So basically what I'm saying is doing hard things becomes enjoyable and easy. And if you can make doing hard things become enjoyable and easy, you can't help but be successful because you're just willing
Yeah.
to do all the hard things. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, what you said struck two chords with me. One, when you say, how am I going to do this today? It implies that it's going to get done.
That's it.
It's just a
Yes.
matter of figuring out it's going to be done. And then the second thing, how do I do this today happily,
Yes.
implies there are several ways to do this.
Yes.
We can choose the happily ways.
Yes. Yeah, because a lot of people do the hard things, but they're grumpy, right? They're grumpy and grouchy and they're producing bad energy. And so, yeah, you might be getting it done and you might be doing hard things, but you're making everybody around you miserable, including yourself. And nobody wants to be a part of that. You don't want to be a part of that. Other people don't want to be a part of that. And whatever you're doing has to be attractive. It has to be good energy that, people want to come experience.
Boy, I tell you, there's so much truth in that. Particularly in the stuff that we do around Texas Day Peru. We really have one major criteria that we're looking for when we're looking for volunteers. Well, two. One, if you're a clinician, you have to be competent. That's bottom line.
Yes.
But we don't let negative energy into the building.
Yeah.
We just don't, because it's too fragile. People are giving too much of their time to have a bad time. It's things are going to go wrong when you're down there. We'll not have the right supplies. We'll not have the right equipment. Many things go wrong logistically. That's the nature of the beast. But if you don't have people that can roll with those punches and smile and take care of those patients, well, I'm sorry, there's not a fit for you on the team. So that competence and that great attitude, that positive energy, and it's not just for stuff like what we're doing. Some of the best managers that I've known in business, it wasn't that they were geniuses at anything, but they were great at putting together awesome teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you can come to work every day and you're going to go, this is going to be a hard day and we got to figure some really hard some things out, but I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to be with these people doing that. Then people are going to keep coming to work every single day, solving the hard problems for the business. Just because it's a hard problem, it doesn't mean that it has to be not fun. It can be really fun to solve really hard, complex issues.
Yeah.